Welcome everyone. Today we will learn how to perform a left-out join operation with MongoDB in a .NET application using lookup. So as a prerequisite, we need to have a running MongoDB instance. You can check out my video about MongoDB CRUD operation in .NET. So the first step is to add a console application. So create a new in Visual Studio, define the name, select the latest .NET version. The second step is to add the required NuGet package to connect with the MongoDB database. So go to Manage NuGet Packages and search for MongoDB.Driver. Install the package. The next step is to connect with the database. So add a new variable called DB and create a new MongoClient and pass the connection string. So we'll use MongoDB Compass to add data to the collections. So go to MongoDB Compass, connect with the local instance and click this pop-up menu and copy the connection string. Let's paste it here and get in the database. So MongoDB Compass, let's add a new database called test and a collection name called product. So in this demo, we'll have a one-to-many relationship. The idea is to create a product. A product will have one or many variants. So create the database and the collection, pass the database name. And the next step is to add the data to the collections in MongoDB Compass. So let's add data for product collection. So insert a document with a single product. So define two simple properties, the name and the brand. Insert the document and copy the ID to create the relationship with multiple variants. So add a new collection called variant. Insert two documents that are associated with the product. So define a field called product ID, which is like the foreign key in this case with the product by passing the ID. Define two more properties, color and size, and add the second variant with same product ID with different color and with different size. Insert both documents and we have the data required. So the next step is to use the lookup aggregation stage. So go to MongoDB and this lookup aggregation stage performs a left-out join operation by joining different collections in MongoDB in the same database. So in this case, we will use LINQ, that is language integrated query in .NET, to create a query and to get the results from the MongoDB database. So we have two options, query syntax and method syntax to use in C#. So we'll use both to compare the results. So let me copy this sample code. But before that, there's a note to use this lookup operator is that we need both collections queryable. So how to do that, how to make both collections queryable? Go to Visual Studio and add two properties. The first one is the product collection. So from the database, we will get the collection for the product. So we will define the models that represent the collections in MongoDB. So define a class called product with the following properties. The first one is the ID. So add an attribute to define the JSON representation because the JSON type for this field is an object ID. Okay, let me remove this and use the MongoDB.JSON namespace. Add the remaining properties, the name and the brand, and define the second model for the variant class, which has the ID, but also the product ID. Okay, and the two properties, in this case, the color and the size. That's it. So add both collections by passing for product collection the class as a generic type and pass the name, which is product, and add a new field called variant collection of type variant and the collection name. Okay, the next step is to use the syntaxes from LINQ to create the results. So let's copy the first syntax, that is the method syntax. So let me copy this sample code, paste it here, and replace the name of this variable for method syntax. The first collection is the product collection, and use this group join operator. But before that, we need to pass these collections as squareable. So let's add this function for both collections. Use the group join function from LINQ. We pass in the product collection, and the second one, there is the variant collection. Rename this variable as P to represent a product based on the ID, and replace this with B from the variant that has like the foreign key, that is the product ID, and we will return P, which is the product, and the variant, okay, and return a new object with two fields, the product itself and the variant, okay, based on the property. So we have created the query. We will print this result in a formatted JSON. How to do that? Add a new console.write line. I will use a JSON serialize class and serialize the result, passing the result from the method syntax, and define a JSON serialize options to indent the JSON. Okay, this is the first query result. So the second approach using LINQ is with the query syntax. We will use both to compare the results. Let me copy the sample code. Let's close this part. Rename it as query syntax. This is from P, which is from the product collection, and B from the variant collection on P.id equals to B.product ID into a new variable called variants, and return the same object as the method syntax. Okay, and then add a new write line passing the query syntax result, and finally let's add a read key line to prevent closing the window. That's it. It's time to run the application and compare the results. Let's run it, and as you can see, we had the data about the product with all the properties and the associated variants, in this case 2 variants. This is the method syntax result, and the second result, which corresponds to the query syntax with the product and the variants, which is the same result as the method syntax. Okay, so in this demo we've learned how to perform a left outer join operation with MongoDB in a .NET application using the lookup application stage.